What's going on, y'all? Shawn here, and I wanted to talk about whether or not you should warm up before exercising or not. Now, it probably on one hand seems like a well, duh, of course, kind of um, thing, but I think it's worth talking about for a couple of reasons. So, first of all, whenever I was younger, teens, um, mostly, maybe 20s a little bit. I didn't do much warming up. I just went right in, whether it was lifting weights or jogging or sprinting or whatever. I just did it, and there was no consequence for me doing such things, none whatsoever. But I will say, probably within the past 5 years, give or take, I have seen a good reason, a need for warming up. Let me see, about 2 or 3 years ago, I remember I was going to run hills. I run hills a lot, and so I was resuming hill sprinting. And it was like early spring or something like that. And I remember I was on maybe like my first or second hill, and I felt like a slight something in my right hamstring. And it was like, oh, okay. I used to be able to just come out here and just get right to it. Um, but that changed. Okay. And so that kind of taught me, it's probably a good idea to not just get out here cold and do stuff. So things have changed a little bit. But what I will say is the way that I warm up is not necessarily, let me adjust this a little bit. But the way that I warm up is not necessarily how we learned to when I was growing up, which is, do some cardio for 5 or 10 minutes. The whole rationale behind doing 5 or 10 minutes of cardio is you get your blood flowing throughout your body and that warms up your muscles, so on and so forth. Cool. However, I believe that whenever you warm up that way, it is unnecessarily taking some of the energy from you that you could use for the real work, if that makes sense. And instead, what I do is I use exercise specific warm ups. So, for example, and my wife and I were talking about this. This is the whole reason why I'm even recording this video. So, for example, what I do is, say, for example, I'm working chest like I did 2 days ago. First exercise, bench press. So if I'm putting, if my first working set is me putting a plate on each side of 45, um, I'm not going to do that first. I'm going to use my first bench press set as a warm up. So I'm going to do either the bar or maybe something real easy on each side, like 10s or 25s or something like that. And I'm going to do a little bit more reps than I normally would. So my working sets for bench press currently are sets of 8. But for this warm up set, I'll probably do like sets of at least 10 or 15. Okay. And now the benefit of a warm up set for the very specific exercise is that it warms up the specific muscles that you're using, and it warms up the joint. So if you kind of a little stiff or whatever, you're kind of taking those through that range of motion with light weight. And that helps you to warm up very specifically. Then once I finish that warm up set, I'm ready to get to work, and I go ahead and do my working sets. Now get this too. If I'm doing additional chest exercises, I don't have to do a warm up for any of those because I'm already warm at that point because I warmed up and did an exercise already for the muscle group. Now, if I'm working back on the same day, which normally is what I do, then typically my warm up set, typically I'm going to have a warm up set just like I did for the chest for that first exercise, first set, lighter than normal weight, higher reps than normal. Oh, I'm sorry. A higher number of reps than normal. Okay. And then after that, however many working sets for that exercise, and then subsequent exercises, I don't need to do a warm up set anymore. That's how I do it. But again, the reason that I do it that way is because it saves me energy that I can devote toward the exercise. it saves me time as well. Instead of doing 5-10 minutes of cardio, I can go ahead and get to work with my strength training. And so even with hill sprints, what I typically do is I'll go to the hill and I will do hill jogs really for the first 5 sprints approximately. 4 or 5. Because usually by the time I get to 5, I kind of feel my muscles are warmer and I'm ready to really kind of start pushing it then. And so that's typically how I do those, and that's helped me to be able to avoid injury and things like that. And same with calisthenics, which, as you guys may know, depending on how long you followed me, is what my strength training mostly comprises of. I would do, you know, just a few reps. Like, for example, I've been doing with chin ups, I can do sets of 20, but for my first set, I may just do five slower, more deliberate reps where I'm carefully going through the range of motion because I've been feeling a little bit of stiffness here in like the teres major or minor, whatever it is here under my arms. And so I kind of take my time with those first 5 reps. I may do that for 2 sets. Then I go ahead and go for sets of 15, sets of 20, whatever. So anyway, if you're wondering whether or not you need to warm up, hopefully what I've said gives you some sort of insight as far as like how you can adjust it. I really encourage something like this because I believe, again, it'll save you time and it'll also save you energy. But if you do something different, let me know. Let me know in the comments because I'm open to seeing what other people do out there. And if with whatever kind of thoughts you have about my approach to warming up. Okay. All right, y'all. Take care. As we get older, it becomes increasingly important to maintain and build muscle. Muscle helps you burn fat, stay mobile, and can contribute to longevity. However, many people have no idea how to work out to build muscle. My mini workout series on Patreon provides you with my bodyweight mini workout video library. These workouts use little to no equipment, which means that you can do them in the privacy of your own home. They start at beginner level and progress from there to ensure you continue to see results. Every workout is a full body workout, hitting chest, back, legs, and glutes, as well as other muscles in between. Become a patron today and receive access to my series of mini workouts, plus access to a digital copy of my book, 8 Weeks to Transform Your Diet and Your Health. By combining the workouts with healthy diet changes, as outlined in my book, you'll definitely be on your way to weight loss, improved health, and visible results. Join me at patreon.com/ShawnB2B Fitness today.